Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. It's Christine Jewell, and today we're talking high performance, specifically rhythms and flow for best performance, sustainable performance. One of the things I hear about so often is people saying, I just need more time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy to do everything I want. And as I talk about in today's show, which is actually a snippet from a training I recently did inside of our Momentum Academy, the name of the game right now, you guys, is energy mastery, not time management. When you understand this, the game changes completely. So this was such a great training. I had so much fun doing it that I thought, man, I want to share this on the podcast. I'm going to talk about the 3 habits that peak performers that I've come to know through working with hundreds of people over the last couple decades, as well as being a high performer myself and playing with different rhythms and schedules and protocols. What are the sweet spots that really are just working for the people that I work with, that are working in my own life? So a lot of the things that I'm sharing today are coming directly from things that I'm implementing now or have implemented throughout the years to find the sweet spot of flow state that I love to be in, and the sweet spot where I'm operating from an energized state, not an exhausted state, trying to get through the day, get through the grind like most people are stuck in. So if you're ready to break free from the grind, stop being in this place of exhaustion, and really create a better rhythm to your days, to your weeks, to your months, and just have way more fun in the process. Today's podcast, aka micro training, is for you. As always, if this is resonating with you and you guys want to go deeper into this work, you can click on the link to learn how we can work together. I'm doing a breakthrough offer for a limited time, which is a 30-day opportunity to work with me one-on-one, daily touch points to experience the breakthrough in that one area of your life that opens up everything else. You guys know what I'm talking about. So many of us have that one area that's like, it's just a wall of resistance and it's affecting everything else in our life. And no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, we just keep getting the same result, the same outcome. Maybe this is happening in your marriage. It's the same conversations. You're not getting anywhere. Maybe it's in your health. Maybe it's in this place of frustration because you know you are just in the wrong place. You're being called into a new season, into a new body of work, but you just don't know how to make that leap. You guys, if I'm talking to you, the breakthrough is for you. Click on the link, fill out the application. We'll send you more details and an invitation to join if it's a fit. All right, let's jump into today's conversation. Hello, guys. Welcome to today's Momentum Lab. My name is Christine Jewell. I'm a co-founder of the Momentum Company, high performance coach. I've been in the high performance space for over 25 years, teaching mindset training, human behavior, neuroscience, just up leveling every area of our life. And how do we get breakthrough? So I'm excited to do this training today. It's going to be quick and dirty. I want to throw a lot at you guys. I'm going to fire hose you a bit, but I hope that you receive a lot. So make sure that you have a piece of paper and a pen to take some notes. And I just want to, start out the gate. Some of the most common things that we hear from people is, oh my gosh, there is so much to do. There is so much to do. How do I do it all? I'm overwhelmed by all the things, by all the demands of life, by all the people that depend on me, right? There's so many demands pulling us in all kinds of directions. We all have a work life, a family life, and everybody that we talk to is talking about time management and balance. Those are the number 1 and 2 things that we hear consistently. So today I want to share 3 key habits and really perspectives that peak performers have who perform at a high level consistently without burnout. Because here's the truth. Anybody can sprint. If you're getting chased by a bulldog or a Rottweiler, or there's a pain great enough, there's a fire under your butt that's big enough, everybody can run. Everybody can operate out of pressure. The question is, what's your recovery like? Do you feel destroyed at the end of the day, or can you bounce back and do it again? Are you able to hold a high level of performance and energy consistently Or are you like peaks and valleys and roller coasters and just trying to, catch yourself all the time? The majority is most people are doing peaks and valleys, right? They're on an energetic roller coaster. And so today, I know a lot of you maybe identify as a peak performer or high performer if you're listening to this training. But I want to really invite you to ask yourself the questions. Am I thinking right? Do I have these key habits and protocols in place? Because there is a difference between operating at a high level sustainably versus feeling like you're exhausted and burnt out and drained at the end of the day. Way too many people that identify as high performers actually end up hitting burnout. They end up hitting a wall. And so, first thing right out the gate is all of you know high performance athletes, right? We see them, we go watch the games, we watch the football games, baseball games, basketball, whatever sports you're in. And we look at them and we look at how hard they play in a game day in the Super Bowl. And we love it. We celebrate it when they're crushing it in a game, right? We love it when they're on point, they're in the flow, it's a power day. But what we don't see, but is how many days they're running drills. How many days are they at practice? They have intense recovery protocols, okay? For every hour of game time, there is more practice time and recovery time built in than there is game time. But everybody likes the highlights, right? So today I want to invite you to consider yourself as a high performance mental athlete. Identity is everything, because do I think I can just go, 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 go and not have any protocols for recovery, for setting myself up for success to show up and play full out? Most people love the idea of sports and love watching people play at a high level, but you don't think about yourself as a high performance mental athlete. So right now, write it down. If you guys are listening to this, I am a high performance mental athlete. Do I act like it? Do I think like it? Do my days and the way I set my work and my life up, do they reflect that? Or do they honestly, y'all, I'm kind of raw and real when I present things. Do they reflect the life of a mediocre mental athlete, right? A mediocre player. Like I can show up, but man, I got to write the coattails of other people that are playing full out. And so I just want to talk to those of you who really are ready to say, I want to be a high performance mental athlete. I want to end my days with greater energy, greater focus, and just really be able to sustain like showing up for the life that I've been given as a gift, not to work all week just so I can get to Friday and take a breath over the weekend. And then by Sunday, you're depressed again because you got to get back to work on Monday. That is not living. Okay. That's called slavery. All right. Here's the thing. Number one habit of high performers that sustain peak performance without burnout is that they master energy over time. So much of the personal development, so many world, so much of the leadership world, trainings inside of businesses, companies, they're always talking about time management. I need to manage my time better. I just need more time, right? And it's always about time. But then that is old school thinking, okay? Because the reality is, if you get more time, what would you do with it? Chances are you would fill it with more of the same crap that you've been filling it with, right? If you don't know how to master and move time based on energy flow, then if we're mismanaging it, we're going to mismanage it more. It's no different than money. If somebody says, I just need more money, that will solve all my problems. Well, somebody who doesn't know how to manage $1,000 is not going to be able to manage 1,000,000, let alone 5,000,000, 10,000,000, right? The problem is rarely the tool, it's the understanding of the tool and how to use it effectively. So I want to challenge you right now and remind you that the habit number one is to develop energy mastery. The name of the game is master my energy, because at the end of the day, energy is what counts, right? The energy to show up, the energy to perform at a high level, the energy to get excited about your work, engage with clients, to really be all in where your feet are planted. That takes mental, emotional, and physical energy to show up. It's not about time. You can have all the time in the world, but if you're exhausted, you're still not going to show up for the relationships. You're going to be confused in the conversations, right? You're going to be wasting time and operating from low energy. So number one, when we start looking at it, instead of, oh my gosh, what do I have to do today? And it's all about time. How much time do I have? And what do I need to do with my time? I want you to start the day. An example of this would be, what am I doing at the top of the day to master my energy, meaning to generate energy, clarity, focus, right? So habit number one, when we look at energy mastery, is having a startup ritual at the top of the day. We call it a startup ritual, and it is literally a generator. So maybe that's working out, right? Yes, a lot of peak performers exercise and work out in the morning. Maybe that's like getting out and doing some quick sprints. That might be you get quiet, you journal. It doesn't matter, but there is an activation protocol designed to generate energy, mental energy, emotional energy, and physical energy. So there's some sort of physical movement, top of the day, something that gets your mind right, right? Maybe you're reading, maybe you're meditating on some thoughts, you're looking at your vision, you're looking at your momentum trackers, but you're reconnecting to the vision, to what you're creating, to your goals. You're spiritually connecting at the top of the day. So when you start the day, you're starting physically ready, mentally ready, spiritually ready with your heart in the game. Okay. Y'all know, going back to the athlete thing, talent only gets people so far. The ones who win the game are the ones who have their head right and their heart right, and they've run the drills enough times that they're good at what they do. So if your mind's not right at the top of the day and your heart's not right and your body's not ready and you get thrown into the game, you might get slaughtered today. You might play okay. But what is your morning startup ritual? The other ritual, when we talk about energy mastery, is not starting it up because you know as you go through the day, there's demands. Energy gets pulled from you, right? This person needs that. This client needs that. So do you have a recalibration? What do you have midday? Usually, so for some of us, that's lunchtime. Some of us, it's like that 2 o'clock slump. But there's a time of the day where usually your energy starts to dip. You need to know yourself. Everybody's a little bit different. If we wait till the energy's low, it's too late. That's called reactive leadership, not proactive. Most people that are mindlessly just being used as a tool in their day, at that point they're like, oh, I'm tired, I'll just get a coffee, I'll just plow through. That's called the grind, my friends. That's called survival mode. But high performers who set themselves up to win have intentional breaks somewhere during the day before that time slot where they would naturally dip. So you're getting ahead of it, right? You're playing from ahead, not behind. So for me, that looks like getting outside. I'm a sun baby. I love the sunshine. So I have intentional breaks where I might go sit outside and eat my lunch in the sun. I might go for a walk barefoot in the grass. I might sit on my patio, but I'm breaking away from the computer so that my eyes can get cleared off. I can have a mental recharge and I can get saturated again with some light, some fresh air, move my body, recalibrate. The last one is your end of day ritual, right? What do you do to close out your day? Most people don't do anything. They go home, they take work right into the house with them. They go to bed, they take all their problems, all their issues right to bed with them. And so, one of the things we hear all the time is, I can't shut my brain off at night. I'm going to sleep and I'm still thinking about a million things. And the question, and so now what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for crappy rest. Crappy rest is like having a really bad rest day in athletics, right? It's like you did all the wrong things. The next day you go back, you're weaker, not stronger. So rest is where we get stronger. Rest is where we become clearer. So what is the end of day protocol? And this would be an example of mastering energy flow. I have something as a startup, I have a midday recalibration, and I have an end of day that maybe looks like, you know what, I'm just going to write out my thoughts on a piece of paper. I'm going to close the loop on things that are open. I'm going to schedule things that I'm thinking about. But you actually have an intentional time of space to actually close out things for the day, schedule them so your brain knows I'm dealing with it. And also you get a brain dump. So you get the thoughts out of your head and on a piece of paper. Whenever we hold on to stuff, it's just turning and turning. All it does is create anxiety and keep open loops. And it's an energy suck. So remember, you are here to generate energy. Life force is the name of the game, right? We want to have the capacity to show up and play full out. So that's habit number one. It's about energy mastery, not time management. So how are you looking at your days? How are you looking at your workflows? If you're still living by this excuse of, I don't have time, you're saying the wrong thing. I don't have energy is the truth. So how do we start to generate more energy? Number two habit of peak performers who sustain performance, meaning they get stuff done, they make shift happen consistently. And you're like, man, how do they get so much done? And like, it's like the stacking, right, of the compound effect. How do they do it? Here it is. It's focus over distraction. It's ruthless, relentless focus. The ability to say yes, to prioritize and do what matters most, and the ability to say no. You guys know this. We hear it all the time. Every single yes is a no to something else. And every single no is a yes to something else. And so every single decision we make, every email you check, every text you send, you're saying yes or no to something, right? Yes, I'm available for distractions. Yes, you can interrupt me. Yes, you can irritate me with your comments, right? And that every time we say yes to that, we're saying no to the thing that matters most. So we're talking about mastery. So some things that we need to know, especially when it comes to focus. Focus and energy are massive assets, right? Like it is expensive. Focus is the currency that most companies want. Ads are after you, social media. Like that's what everybody's paying for is focus. Every time you context switch, I want to tell you some quick things before I give you the things of how you can focus even more. Every time you context switch, that means you're shifting tasks. You're on your phone and you're also trying to do something else. You've got 20 tabs open on your computer. Every time you're in that space, there's an average time loss of 15 to 20 minutes between switching every task. Every time you context switch, you're switching from one thing to another. Even if you're like, oh, I'll just check that email. It takes your brain on an average 15 to 20 minutes to get back to the level of focus needed to execute at a high level. If you do that 10 times a day, that's 200 minutes. Okay, so you could see how wasted hours start to stack really fast. Okay, it's ineffective and it is a complete waste of time, energy, and resources. Also, when we're context switching, your brain gets way tired because it's having to process so much information at once. Our brains were actually not designed to process a ton of information. That's why 95% is being processed subconsciously, right? Like we're only really available for a short amount to say, okay, I can receive this information. I can sort it. I know what to do with it. If you have all these tabs open and you have all these things running, your performance is going to drop and you're going to experience massive mental fatigue. Okay. So this is what we hear a lot: brain fog, mental burnout. I'm drained. I can't think clearly. Too many tabs open. It does it. It's just like a phone running way too many programs at the same time. The system gets slow. Error rate increases. You start making mistakes. We know that as we get mentally fatigued, our capacity is like that of an impaired driver. So we're like, no, I'm sober. I could totally drive. But the reality is we're delusional. We're making mistakes. We're missing things. And did you know that it also affects long-term memory loss? Our ability for our long-term memory to be sharp starts to drop the more we context switch, the more we multitask, the more we switch from one thing to the other like squirrel. So not only are we having increased anxiety because we're trying to do everything and think about everything at once, which the last time I checked, there's only one who's omnipresent, all-knowing, all-powerful, can be in everywhere, and it ain't us. There's a massive loss to time and efficiency during the day. There's increased fatigue mentally. So like it makes zero sense to continue to try to do more. It's actually like it's delusional to think that we're going to get more done by trying to multitask. Now, I want to say that multitasking is not the same as stacking. They're two different things, and we're going to talk about stacking in a minute. So how do you up-level focus? I want to share 3 things. Number 1 is, and these are habits, again, of peak performers that have that sustained performance. They understand the myth of multitasking is BS, okay? It is like, it's something that just bleeds you out. So number 1, they identified the one thing. Gary Keller wrote a great book called The One Thing, and it's training yourself to always be asking yourself, what is the one thing that matters most? That if I just do this one thing, if I focus on this one thing and I go all in, it will make everything else easier or unnecessary. And I like to identify the one thing professionally, the one thing for my health, and the one thing for my relationships. And those become the focuses of the day. That doesn't mean you can't do more things, but you prioritize and you start to categorize the thing that matters most instead of having a massive to-do list that's just running in your head all the time. And usually when we're in that place, we'll always choose the path of least resistance, right? We pick the easy thing. So We want to make sure that we train ourselves to identify what is the one thing. This becomes part of the language, and this is the language of high performers. Number two, we kill distractions. I don't even like the word eliminate or reduce, like kill, meaning kill the phone. If you're in a deep work block, turn your phone off. Put your do not disturb on. Like shut down the other tabs. Don't leave the temptations open around you. Like, what does it mean for you to kill off the other distractions? I just gave you some tactical ones. Sometimes we need to relocate to a totally different room or a different place so that we can focus on a piece of work and not tell anybody where we are, because we need to be all in. No distractions. So this is a distraction-free zone. And by the way, we're always training people how to treat us. So if you just let people know, hey, I'm not available. When I go into deep work, my phone's off. My do not disturb is on. I'm going to get back to you, but I'm not going to get back to you while I'm in the work because I'm not going to be looking at it. I'm not available. We have such a hard time telling people that, yet people who have boundaries like that are so much more respected, right? So we increase the level of respect, and guess what? You're modeling for somebody else. Like, it's okay for me to focus and not have a revolving door where I'm always available for everyone all the time. Yes, right? Because again, this is about energy mastery, mental mastery, and focus. Where focus goes, we start to get results. The last thing I want to say about focus, and there's so many things we can do, is we want to be batching. Okay. Batching means putting like project, like tasks together. I'm going to use something simple. If you're doing sales calls, you don't want to do some sales calls in the morning, some sales calls in the afternoon, some sales calls on the way home. Like, obviously you're going to have some flux, right? But as much as you can, you start to batch, like you start to put bigger chunks of time where you're all in for one type of work, because every type of work that we do requires different parts of our brain to run that system, right? So sales calls, for example, that's relationship building, right? You got to do discovery. You're asking questions. Like, you can't be thinking maybe about analytical stuff or detail orientation when you're there in that relationship building mode. If you're working on creative solutions to a project, if you're working on finances, all of those things have very different parts of your brain that they need to activate, different pathways to go down. So if you're trying to do finances and then you're answering emails, which is communication, and then you're doing sales calls, and then you're doing something else, it starts to get really convoluted and confusing. So how we hone focus is we batch. This can look like having scheduled times in the day where you answer emails and you respond to emails and you check emails. It can mean that you have certain types of the week, times of the week or times of the day where you are doing all financial related stuff or detail orientation, right? It can be like all your meetings, communications, face-to-face time as much as possible. You're trying to batch those together. Like for me, all of my meetings are generally between 12 and 4 p.m. I don't do meetings before that because I use the time in the morning to do my deep work, which is more of the project work. Now, I know everybody's a little bit different and you all have different rhythms, but you can still batch things. There are things that you can batch. So I want to really invite you to write down, like, what is it that you do on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, right? We all have like things that we just do. How can you start to chunk those things together? It will change your world, because when you go in and you turn on your do not disturb and you're not available, you might be going in for 2, 4, 6 hours of one type of work. You're going to be getting so much done, exponential increase. So this is not about working harder. It's not about working more hours. You're actually going to notice you get way more done in way less time, which is freedom, baby. Okay. Which is fulfillment. The last thing that I'm going to say here as we wrap is that, the third habit I want to say here is that high performers, peak performers, athletes who consistently show up, okay, and are able to sustain performance, they're always revisiting what's working, what's not working, okay? Meaning they execute and they make the change required. They upgrade their system. Is this working? Is it not working? We hear it all the time. Insanity is like doing the same thing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if something's not working for you, stop doing it, right? You need a better system. And so what we talked about today was actually systems that you get to put in place. There are so many systems, there's so many protocols or disciplines that will really set you up for success. But the hard thing is not knowing what they are. Honestly, you can look up YouTube videos, you can chat GPT, the information is there. The challenging part, and this is why I say it's not for everyone, is the faith, the courage, the boldness to execute, to say, you know what, effective immediately, starting tomorrow, I have a startup ritual. And you know that thing I used to do, grabbing my phone and checking my emails, and everybody's expecting an email from me in the morning. That's not happening. And now I'm going to communicate to people that I'm not available for emails until after 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever it is. That is the type of courage, right? That peak performer has, that says, you know what, I'm willing to do something new. I'm willing to run some new drills, because the drills I've been running, I'm not getting the shots in that I want, are not yielding the result. And so I wanted to say this because we have to always be looking, right? It's this ability to slow down and reflect, even as I've given you a couple things today. Are you doing any of these things? If you're not, great. Which one or two can you start to implement today? We are so wired to repeat what we've always known, to do what we've always done. Why? It's familiar, it's comfortable, it's safe, right? And we really limit ourselves for so many reasons. So right now, when you have awareness of it, that's step number one. Number two is putting a structure in place. So get things on your calendar, get your coach to hold you accountable, get an accountability buddy and say, hey, let's do this together, right? I was talking to a group that was doing a midday walk in their workplace, right? There was like 4 or 5 of them that were getting together in the middle of the day to walk the reservoir, just to have that intentional break. And so like they rallied together. Get some structure to support you in the new rhythms, the new disciplines. If you're going to try to do this alone, chances are it's going to be really challenging, okay? Because you're going to repeat what's familiar. So get the structure in place. Work on your schedule, right? Put the disciplines in place. And then who is that one person or that group of people that now you can enlist to hold you accountable or ask you, how are you doing? Because you're going to need those external triggers as well. And the last thing is like, just give yourself a measure of success. You know, if at the end of the day, your norm has been, man, I'm always tired at the end of the day. I always feel exhausted. Like all I want is a beer or a glass of wine and like collapse on the couch or whatever. Like, how do you feel at the end of the day, right? How much more satisfied are you with your work day? How much more did you accomplish today that was actually aligned? Because you can be busy doing a lot of things and be going nowhere. A lot of people can run in a circle. Okay. Like some of us are very good at running on hamster wheels and then getting frustrated because we're like, man, I'm running my butt off, but you're running in a circle. So as you start to put these things in place, remember the name of the game is energy mastery, not time mastery. Number two, you have to become relentless and ruthless about cultivating focus and killing distraction. You have to have systems for that. I gave you some, right? You know the cost. So now you know the price of not doing it. And lastly, you have to have a practice of always combing and evaluating what's working, what's not working. Am I making progress? And we keep upgrading our software, just like you need to upgrade the software on your phone all the time. You need to upgrade the software. If you're not upgrading the way you run your days, if you're not upgrading the way you manage your energy, then you're going to stay the same and it's going to start to get glitchy. Okay. So I hope that today's training was helpful for you guys. If you're watching this on a replay inside of the portal, love to hear you guys comment below. What was your number one takeaway from today's training? And what is one thing, just one thing that you know that if you implement that will make everything else easier, smoother, a little bit more flow, and a lot less stress for you. You guys, thanks for being here in our Momentum Lab. My name is Christine Jewell. It was an honor. We'll see you guys next time.